It was going to be a hardcore D&D run, a real throwback to old school AD&D. We were making our way through the Keep on the Borderlands, a completely classic open-ended adventure using the module that has been re-imaged for 5th edition. And even in that re-imaging, just from what I've seen online, and in this vlog, absolutely no spoilers, it's a tough adventure. There's going to be some character deaths. There's going to be some consequences. Now, the group that we were playing with were also veterans. Many of us, myself included, have been playing D&D for many, many years. So we decided in that spirit of hardcore, you get what you get and you can be upset, but you get what you get and that is it. So we are rolling 3d6 for stats. No baby cakes point by. No D&D current start out at 16. You've got 18s. You bump stuff up at first level. You're at like 20 in primary attributes. No swapping or switching. You roll 3d6. And you hope, at least for intelligence, that you're rolling 10 or higher, because then if you get in the 3, 4s, or 5s, or 6s, you're really not even able to speak. And from there, building a party. So my thought going in on this, besides praying to the dice gods, was I'm going to roll my stats. Everybody's going to roll up their stats together. We're going to roll our stats up, and then I'm going to see what would be the best character class based on these stats. So normally I play a monk or I would play a wizard, but this time the stats are going to drive it. Secondary to that, depending on my stats, I might take a little bit of a hit or an adjustment where the party diversity in terms of character classes, if someone rolled up a pretty good monk and I also roll up a pretty good monk, maybe I'd be a mediocre paladin jumping in that with the stats, because we don't really need two monks. Or maybe our stats are such that just we're both godlike and we do take those classes. So that was the plan going in. Second to that, looking at different character classes, different character builds where I could get a little bit of a bump here and there, right? The various attributes in D&D, take a dragonborn, get a bump here, play an elf, get a bump there. That was going to be layered over the primary stats for the character class. So at least I could hopefully get my difficulty checks up higher. So when I'm using abilities, or if I was playing an arcane caster, using whatever powers, inherent powers, can I at least get my DC with a +2 or +3, a plus something, as opposed to just going in, just baseline, no adjustments. Okay, we roll up the dice, and strength, 12. Intelligence was like 11. Constitution, 11. I mean, I'm pretty much a normal humanoid at this point. Wisdom, 14. Dexterity, 14. Constitution was like 10 or 11. So we've got some wisdom. That's what we're going to bounce off of. That's where we're going to go. Playing a wood elf. A female wood elf, I also got some bonuses, opened up a couple of options. So going into this game, playing a druid. Now, this was very exciting because I haven't played a druid in, I can't even remember the last time. And being the Keep on the Borderlands out there in the wilderness, the Caves of Chaos, no spoilers, and the wilderness moving around, a druid was going to have some bite. Also, I could back up and be, well, turns out I became the primary healer. We did have a paladin in the party. We didn't quite have enough for a dedicated cleric, so we decided cleric, paladin, kind of go with paladin to get that punch, secondary heals. I figured with Cure Light Wounds and Healing Word, I could just zap the rest at the lower levels. Then maybe the higher levels we pick up an NPC. So it's looking pretty good. I'm going into the game. I'm excited, playing a druid. Fritz, are you going to do the voice? Do the voice thing. And this leads to this vlog, doing the voice in Dungeons & Dragons, getting into character. Now, we all image and we all play D&D in different ways. And as a dungeon master, and I'm going to step back as a player from a moment, go behind the DM screen as a DM, one of the things that I'm trying to do, among many, is make sure all the players at my table, the bigger the better, there's always room, Let's sit down, 10 players, let's do it, 12 players, let's do it. Everyone gets to experience and enjoy D&D how they want to play D&D. Some characters, some players get into character. They do the voice thing. They speak in character. Other characters and players will just interact much like they would in real life. And some players, I have had a couple of players that just their personality is they're quiet. They're kind of reserved. So understanding, enjoy D&D how you want to play D&D. Many of us, not all of us, usually when I'm a player, I'll do the voice. I'll get into character. I'll get into that voice. It's easy to do playing a monk. It's easy to do playing kind of an egotistical wizard. Druid, okay, but a wood elf, female druid, my voice really doesn't go that low. I tried. I really tried. I lost my voice like halfway through the first adventure. But for exploring it from that perspective, definitely as a DM. One of the things I love about being a DM is given the diversity of monsters in the monster manual, I've got a lot of voices to pull from. I'm going to taunt the players. I'm going to talk to the players. I've pulled out some basic words in kind of orc and gnoll and draconic, or I just make it up in the moment, speaking to the players in that language. And if they understand it, then I'll translate it into English if they speak that language with their character. Using that as another piece in your toolkit as a DM or as a player to represent your avatar on the table. I enjoy it. In what other setting other than Dungeons and Dragons could I sit down and kind of act that piece out and enjoy it from that perspective? But again, taking it from the perspective of everyone approaches D&D in their own way. So having that vision, having that voice as a player, do you do the voice thing? And as a DM, do you do the voice thing? And certainly certain characters I've tried, but I can't do playing it from that perspective.